Welcome to this video tutorial on creating windows in ArchiCAD according to the manufacturer's supplier specifications. ArchiCAD is a powerful software for architectural design and it's essential to ensure that your designs meet the specifications of the manufacturers to ensure proper installation and functionality of your windows. In this tutorial, I'll walk you through the step-by-step process of creating windows in ArchiCAD according to the manufacturer's specifications. We'll cover everything from choosing the correct window type and size to selecting the right materials and finishes for your windows. Whether you are an experienced architect or designer, or you're just starting with ArchiCAD, this tutorial will provide you with the necessary skills to create accurate and professional window designs that meet the requirements of the manufacturer's supplier specifications. So let's get started and learn how to create windows in ArchiCAD that meet the exact specification of the manufacturers. Before we start, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more video, being notified for more videos like this one. Be sure to like and share this video to those you think they will benefit from it. Without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, I'm going to use this catalog coming from the supplier called, let me just scroll down, Clapness Windows. I'm not sure I'm correctly pronouncing this, but that's the name. They have different types of windows here in this catalog. As you can see, we have G-type residential open out windows. We have E-type, ES, S, and C, so on and so forth. That's basically what we're going to use to create our custom windows. It's important because if you are using this, there are different types of manufacturers or suppliers of aluminum or steel or wooden windows, but you need to use their specifications into your project in order for them to be easier, because you're going to procure windows from them. So it's important to see how you can replicate that style or specification into your ArchiCAD project. So I'm going to open ArchiCAD to start demonstrating this. Let's open ArchiCAD, and what I need to do here in ArchiCAD, in order for you to place a window, you need walls. If you're new to ArchiCAD, that's basically how it works. Walls are the ones that housing all the openings, doors and windows. So I'm going to start by activating the wall tool under the design tool palettes here, and then under the geometry method. As you know, majority of all the tools in ArchiCAD has this part for placement of that particular element you're doing. So each has this, but they are more or less the same but in different ways, because obviously every tool has its own parameters and settings. So I'm going to use the straight method to place this wall, where this is going to be determined by 2 points. So I'm going to click on the on the space here, the first point, and then drag. As I'm drawing here, I can key in the dimension of the length of this wall, but for this demonstration I'll just estimate. I'll just leave it here and click the second point to complete your wall. So that's basically what we have, and let's move on and place a window into this wall. Let's activate the window tool again from the design tool palettes, activate it, and then open the window settings dialog from the info box to access all the parameters of the windows. Okay, so there are different types of windows in ArchiCAD that are into or organized into some folders from the ArchiCAD default library. So let me just increase this by stretching this window, so in order for you to see all the windows. We have the basic windows, we have bay and bar windows, we have got empty windows if you want to create some holes into your walls, or it's just an opening into your walls. You can come up and use this window. We have historical windows, and we have single double windows, we have sliding windows and special windows. So these have or gives you different parameters to set. That's one thing that we need to understand. They are different in terms of the parameter settings. Now, in order for you to replicate what the manufacturer is giving to you, or what's manufacturer's specification, you've got to be in this folder for basic windows. Basic windows is just basically a foundation of creating whatever custom window you would want. For example, let's go back to our catalog and pick one window to create there. I'll scroll down here. Let's find something interesting. I think, no, not this one. Let's come up here. I want something with both the side light and a transform at the same time with okay, let me just scroll down and see what's in at the bottom. Okay, let's do the same to this one. Oh yeah, something has to give. There's a certain type that I'm looking for. Let's see. Okay, that bunch of types of windows here. I think we're getting closer to what I want. Let's see from this ones. Okay, that's basically what I wanted. Let's, for example, create this ZNC2F window. So its dimensions, we have the width here, which is around 1.2, and then we have the height, which is around 949. You'd want to use this exact measurements as your manufacturer's catalog, because that's, at the end of the day, he's going to supply you with this window, so you better use exact measurements. So let's go back to our ArchiCAD and try to replicate this. What I will need to do here is to see what's related to that window. We can start from there. Let's see what is almost related to that. If I can see here is this, right? When I click on this one, so that it can load its settings here. So the first setting that I need to do is to do the measurements. So we have the width as 1.2. This one is, I think, 946. The height, right? Let's go back and see and confirm. The width is 1.264. This is 949. Okay, 1.264. This is 49 instead of 46. All right, so I'm gonna go down here under basic window settings. That's where the majority or the most of work is going to be done. Let's open it, and before we track everything, let's go to OK to apply the changes, and let's place this window. To place the window, let's zoom in. You'd hover on above your wall like that to give you this input, and then you can select the way you want your windows to be positioned. The gray or darker or thick line represent the position of the window within the thickness of your wall, because it has to be positioned is either central or at the edge, both inside and outside. So I'm gonna choose one side and then place it like that. So here is the window position, as you can see that. And then if we check on 3D, let's check on 3D to appreciate this. This is by default what ArchiCAD gives you, but remember, one, we're dealing with an aluminum windows or steel windows. Two, we need to customize this to be exact as our manufacturer's specifications. So let's select this and then go back to the window settings. What we need to do here is to start under basic window settings. Let's, from the first page, okay, let me just do this. All right, so if you open the window settings, this is the first page. So if we move to the next page, which is for shape, this is important as well. We need to determine the height of our transom, okay, because we know the total height of this window, which is 9 something. We want to have a specific dimension for the transom, so I'm gonna give it around 650. You can check the preview here under preview and position, and then choose the front view. So this is what we have. We've increased it a bit, but if you look at our catalog, you would see these Z and CF12. It has a significant height of a transform. So I'm gonna go back here again and increase under basic window settings. Let's increase this transform by having a smaller number here, maybe 500. Okay, let's preview it. Okay, I think it's too much. You can go up a bit. I think it's too much. Let's say this should be 550. Yes, now. But here you see the opening side is at the bottom. According to our catalog, we have two opening side. We have this side light openable, and then the transom also openable. The other one is gonna be fixed sash. So let's go back, and under basic window settings, we're going to move to the next page. Here on this page, window settings and opening, this is where we identify or set what type of pane supposed to be openable or fixed. We have list of them here. We have three types of sash or whatever components of this window. 1, 2, 3. They are being categorized as a main sash, side light, transom sash. Transom sash is this one. Currently the transom sash is fixed. We want them to be a top hang. So if you go back to the preview, you would see now we have introduced our openable top hang transom. Let's go back again and then make the side light instead of being fixed, it's going to be a side hang. Let's make it a side hang. If we go back to the preview, we now see it as being openable from the side, right? That's amazing. And then the last one, which is the side light, is going to be fixed. We want this to be fixed class. So let's go back. Oh no, sorry about that. This is the side hang, and then the main sash is going to be fixed class or fixed sash. I think fixed sash and fixed class, what's the difference? Let's go back to the preview and proceed and see. We see now it's been fixed. So I think the difference between the fixed sash and the fixed class, I want us to understand that. If you see here, it's a fixed sash. How do you see it's a fixed sash? You would see with the internal rebate for the frame, because we're fixing the frame, the openable frame for this member instead of the fixed class. So if you go back to the basic window settings, if we change this to fixed class, it will change or remove that line. Yeah, I got distracted by the call. Yes, that's what I was trying to explain. You see now, because it's a fixed class, it's a fixed class to the main frame, to the main frame of the window. But if you say it's a fixed sash, it means we have another layer or openable layer, but we want it to be fixed. That's the difference. I hope I'm explaining this clearly. If you don't get it, let me know in the comment section so that I can maybe create a specific video for this to really explain this in depth. Okay, so let's go back here to our basic window settings. We've now set the openability of our components. We've determined which one is supposed to be opening, which are those are supposed to be fixed. So another important thing is the detail level. The detail level here, we need to set the 3D detail level to full resolution, and then the 2D detail level to scale 1:50, for example. This will give a significant difference to the appearance and the symbol on the floor plan for your windows. For example, I have to scroll here, you see now it doesn't look detailed, it doesn't look realistic. That's what I mean to say. But if you increase the detail level to full resolution, it's going to reveal all the components, all the details that we've been doing or setting now. So under the 2D detail level, so if you make it 1:50, and it will reveal all the details for your window in your floor plan. It's important to have that. So I would if you click on this arrow, it will give you all the pages for the parameters that comes with your Windows Auto set. You can also set the detail level under the floor plan and section. So if you come here, you still have a detail level under floor plan and section. Or if you come here under the model attributes, we have the 3D detail level there also to be set, but we can also access them under the window settings and openings, which is this window. Okay, that's in case you would want to understand this. So what I want to do here is to go under the model attributes and set this, because we are dealing with an aluminum or a steel frame windows. So let's change the frame and such surfaces to represent metal. So one thing that I need to do is to check the box for uniform window surfaces, so that once I change one of this parameter to, let's just go for a metal aluminum, it changes all the surfaces or all the components of the windows once. You can also define the frame and such 3D pens. I normally like it to be on a gray color or a black color, so I would set all of them into or to a color 1 from the color table. Okay, what else again do we need to do? Let's go back to the list of the parameters and then open the floor plan section. What I want here is to uncheck the use fields. By default, ArchiCAD will use fields to your windows, and this is not always good, or it's just a default settings. I normally remove fields from the windows, and then like I said, 2D detail level is gonna be on 1:50, and then I'm going to show reveal on symbol to be always. Let's set it to be always, and then if you come here, you can define the line pen for your windows on the floor plan and section. So I'm gonna change this to color 15, sorry, 0.15, which is color 2 from the color table. So I'm gonna set all these pens to represent that. Okay, so you can preview before you apply the changes, so that you can see. Now we've left with one settings, which is the opening lines. To access these lines, let's go back to the window settings again, and then click on this arrow to bring in the list of the parameters, and we would want a parameter called opening lines, which is under opening type and angle. So we need to override what's from the model view options, and what's on the, okay, for both 2D symbol display and 3D projections. For 2D symbol display, for now, let me just leave it. I'll do it later once I've applied the changes for 3D projections, because we already have it open here on the 3D. So I'm gonna override this, and then make sure the opening lines are from the handle, are pointing to the handle. Sorry, that's basically how we represent that. So if you say hinges, it's going to be represented like this, but this is an appropriate way of representing the opening side of your, or the opening line or representation of your window and doors. Okay, so, and then on the opening side, I want all this to be dashed, both for the opening side and opposite side, and I can change the line to 0. Or color 2, which is 0.15 millimeters from the color table. And then let's apply the changes. Let's hit OK to apply the changes to this window. Okay, boom. That's basically what we have. You see, now this is almost what we have. What's left here is to add other details, extra details like the handle. So let's select it and then go back to its settings, and let's find the parameter for labels under basic window settings. We can only find this here under the frame and search. We have a handle parameters there. You can activate the window handle box, and then we have different types of window handles that comes with ArchiCAD. You can create your own custom window handle if you want, but I think what ArchiCAD gives us here is good enough to define your project. But if you are specific with the handles, if you want to be very detailed in your ironmongery, you can go ahead and create this custom handle and come and load it from here. If you don't know how to do that, let me know in the comment section so that I can create a separate video just for the handles, creating handles in ArchiCAD. Okay, in this case I will go with the style 7 type of a handle. If I hit OK, it has to be applied from the inside, which is this side, as you can see. Okay, and then you can test the openability of your windows as well by clicking on one of these hotspots that are on the side of your handle. For example, if you click on this and then maybe stretch it outside, or you can specify the opening angle from on your tracker. Let's just say we want it to open around 60 degrees. Click enter, your window it will be open like that. We can do the same to the transom, open it up by maybe 30, something like this. Okay, but one thing that you need to understand is the thicknesses of, or the specification for the mulons on mountings of the window, because those are elements that are important. So if you want to change them, let's go back to the window settings here. Let's go back to the first page, which is for, I'm gonna scroll down, which is for nominal sizes and tolerance. I think frame width. Yes, this is the parameter that I want. You can make it uniform around all your frames depending on the specification. I think this will save time or headache as well by specifying all the dimensions, unless it's a special window, a specific or tailored to a specific purpose within your project. That's where you can do that. I would check the box for uniform frame width, and then I can define the, normally maybe I'll just say 45. It will change all to 45. If you hit OK, it will come and update your window like this. Yes, for example, I think that feature would work in this case where we have this vertical member where it's in houses two members, which is this side and that side. Maybe we can make it thicker than the rest. Let's see how we can do that. Go back to the settings, and then instead of say uniform frame, let's make this one double. Yes, the ones that has to accommodate the opening of the elements, I'm gonna make them double. Instead of I'm gonna make them 90, because it's going to be 45 plus 45, and then this side also 90. If you applied changes by hitting OK, that will be represented here. Okay, so that you can have enough room for closing your window. Let's click on this point and try to close it and see. Oh, sorry, let's set it to 0 angle. What happened? No, okay, let's hit Ctrl Z to undo. I wanted to close it. So to close it, let's make sure it's on 0 and then hit enter. Yeah, perfect. Now it's closed, and then this is how it feels when it's closed. Okay, it looks pretty great. So let's now concentrate on the floor plan display. So if you go back to the plan view, this is what you get from that. Okay, you can also show, I don't know, you can show the openability of this window on the floor plan. Let's select it and see. Yes, you can, because we see we have this hotspot that we can pick and then define the openable display of that. Perfect. I think it looks great. This is super. And I can also override the style of this line types and then pens as well. So let's open in settings. To do that, we're gonna go back to the opening side. Let's bring all the parameters, and then we want the opening lines feature. We want to override on the 2D symbol display, because that's what has been projected from the floor plan. Let's override that here, and then we want the line shape that represent the path of the opening, or the path of the opening sash for our window to be curved. You can choose to be straight like this, but this doesn't look like a good representation. I would just go for the curved, and then I would use a different line type. Instead of using a solid line, I want to dash it because It's just an opening. It's not an element or part of, it's not an element that is part of our window. It's just a path representation. So if we hit OK, I think we need to I think this is the line type already. We've overrooted it. Let's hit OK to apply the changes, and we don't see the opening part. If I change the scale to 1:50, oh, we can now see this is dotted, but we can maybe change the line to something different. Let's find a hidden line and see what's would, oh yeah, something like this, and I can increase the openable angle to something like that. Okay, it looks great already. It looks great already. Yeah, that's basically how you create your custom window according to the manufacturer specifications. This was pretty much straightforward. Let's go back to our catalog and find something intricate or complex to create. I'll scroll down here. Let's scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Let's see what we can create. I want a window that will have multiple opening side, like this TD 615. It looks interesting. Same applies to TD 675. Oh, we still have interesting windows as well on this side. Okay, all right, let's go for TD 679. Its height is 1.873, the width is 2.4. okay, so what we need to understand is the members of, let me just zoom in here, is the members of the components of your window. We have this 1, 2, 3 top hang openable sashes or sash, whatever whatever it may be, and then we have this side which is fixed. Let's see how we can try create this. The height is 1.8 and then the width is around 2.4. Let's go back to our ArchiCAD. We can let me just select this and then Control-Shift-D to drag a copy to here, so that I can utilize already settings of this. Okay, let's open its settings, and then from the settings we need to maybe pick something related to that. Let's find something related to what we want to create. We have 3 sashes or 3 openable side. I don't think this will be okay. Let's try reuse this one. I would go back to the first page, which is window settings and openables. All right, here, no, not this one. Let's go back here under shape, the geometry. This is the geometry of our window. So we're gonna introduce the lower transom because we have the top transom, right, which is this one. So what I'm going to do is introduce the lower transom, and then from the preview you'd see now we have the third, or we have divided the fixed sash into 2 parts. We have this and then that, but there has to be equal in terms of the size. How do we make them equal? Let's go back to the basic settings, and then under panes horizontal, I want us to make this asymmetric. All right, sorry, uniform frame distance, sorry. And then if you go back, you would find now, oh no, sorry about that, gents. Let's use asymmetric. Okay, if you go back, what am I doing? Sorry about that, guys. I think it's this one. Yes, uniform glass sizes, uniform frame sizes. Yes, sorry about that. We made this uniform frame sizes from the panes vertical. Panes horizontal, I think, is this distance, right? So, but if you look at our catalog, let's see, we have with TD 169, we have this significant or bigger than the other ones this side. So I think it's more than 60%. Let's go back, and then what we need to do under the panes horizontal, we don't want this to be uniform. We'll just leave it under isometric, and then let's go under preview and positioning and make this, because it's done 2.6. It's 2.6 how much? 2.6, 2.489, 2.489, and then this is 1.8. It's going to 2.489, and then the height is going to be 1.8. Yes, now we need to fix the panels that are horizontal. Let's go back here, and then instead of having this member 240, the side light, that's way it's going to be fixed glass. I'm going to make this more than 60%, because we have 2.4. I'm gonna make this 1.8. Let's see what's going to be left on the side. Okay, it looks great, but it looks huge. Let's go back and then make 1.6. Make it 1.6, and then if we move to the window the window settings and open window, what we need to do here is to set which side is going to be openable. If you look at our preview here, we have this fixed and then this member fixed. We only have the top part or the top transom openable, and this sash or the side light. The side light has to be fixed as well. We'll start with it. The side light is this one, is going to be fixed sash, and then we have the lower sash, which is going to be the top hang. All the openable components are going to be all top hang. Let's preview and position. So we are left with one to make it top hang, which is the main sash. Let's make it top hang. So if we go back to the preview and positioning, you see now we have a clean window preview. Then we can hit OK to apply the changes to our model. Okay, that's basically that. It looks great already. And then if you want them to be on the same height without changing them one by one manually, it's going to be a headache to do that. But rather use this method, select all of them, and then come here on the info box. Instead of, by default, it will be it will be the base offset, or the height of the window is going to be based on the sill to story 0. I'm going to change this to a header wall base, or a header to wall top. Okay, and then if you set this to be 2.1, that will be the height of all the windows for this project. No, instead of header wall top, it's going to be header to wall base. Sorry about that. And then set this to be 2.1. So that's how you set all the windows in your project. Make sure you select all of them, and then come here, set them to header to wall base, and then set the entire window level height of your project. It will change all the windows to that exact height. In this case, it's going to be 2.1. Okay, so that's basically it about that. So one thing that I forgot is now the reveal. The reveal is also important because it will help you to determine the position of your window within the thickness of your wall. So in this case, let's select all of or both of this, and then if you go here under the info box, we have a reveal to wall core. Okay, so let me just show you from the settings different types of reveals. All right, and let's go here under basic windows. I want to select, let's find the reveal parameters. Where is it? Oh, the reveal, I think it's under the frame section. Frame width. Okay, here it is, wall opening, and then we have reveals. Here we have, these are different types of reveals we can create in ArchiCAD. All right, we can have this one splayed. So if you activate it, and then you can come here and customize the angles you want them to be splayed with. So if you hit OK, you can apply this to your window. I think it's going to be on the other side. All right, that's the effect on this side. So let me just move this window to this direction, Control D to move it here so that you can see that. That's the display. It will depend on where you want this to be positioned, either outside or inside, but in most cases I've seen people or designers use it from the outside. So to change this, you need to flip your window. I'll select this window, come here under the info box and flip your window like that. Okay, and then you can set or reduce the position of your window to maybe, I would say 120 in this case, something like this. Okay, and then this side you would have a seal, and then if you want to have your seal active, you can go back here under window settings, and then if you click to bring all the parameters, you would have the seal and then the board. So these are the important features that are under fixtures and fitting. So let's find the board first. I'm going to apply a board in the internal or the inside of my window. So if I hit OK, I would have a board applied on this, but I wanted this to be inside instead of outside. So what I'll do, I'll flip this window to that side, something like this. Okay, and then this side I don't have a seal. I can also introduce a seal if I want under the same settings of fixing. And let's go back here, and then we can activate the seal. You can choose type of a seal you want to use. I'll go with the brick seal, hit OK, and then boom, you can override also these materials, the surfaces for this seal and the board as well. So if you click on this arrow to bring the model attributes for the fixtures and fittings, if you look at the way these parameters are being organized, we have model attributes for almost each category. Under window settings and opening, we have a model attributes, which is here, and then we have model attributes under wall opening. We have model attributes also under fixtures and fittings. Same applies to floor plan and section. So if under fixtures and fittings you select it, you'd find we have the parameters to set the surface for board and seal. So I'm gonna change this because I want a brick surface. Let's go for the common bond. This one, it will remain as a wood is fine. I would hit OK to apply the changes, something like this. Okay, I think let's find something interesting instead of this. Let's find let's go for the stack bond. I think stack bond will do. Almost what I wanted. Okay, I think that's basically it about setting up your custom windows as per the manufacturer and supplier specifications. That's basically how you can go about it. But instead of having to set this one by one, I have created different catalogs, windows to look at. If you check the link on the description, you would find bunch of windows that I've created for just specifically for aluminum windows. I'm here to create for the for the wood or wooden framed windows soon. Be tuned with that, and that will be published as soon as possible. Check the link on the description to find the window pack that is been provided here to speed up your workflow, and then also check other resources that we offer within our platforms. We offer BIM resources like ebooks if you want to really take your level to the next level. We have also courses if you want a video format kind of learning method. So we have everything, and then we have projects as well that are perfectly or well assembled in order for you to do a reverse engineer if you want to learn. Sometimes you want to learn by an example, so you need to have an example. Take that an example and analyze it and try to work backwards to see the steps or determine steps that have been carried to reach that level. So look at check our websites, both our BIM stores. We have everything in terms of the resources that can speed up your workflow. The idea for ArchiCAD is create it once and then reuse or repeat the process in the future project. That being effective, that's will solve a lot of problems and save a lot of your resources and money into your projects. Okay, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified for the future videos like this one. You can also recommend a video or a topic in order for us to create or to solve. Also, let us know in the comment section what would you want us to make a video about whatever topic or challenges that you want us to solve. Let us know in the comment section. Also, share this video with those you think they will benefit from it, and make sure you like it for the algorithm to help us create more videos like this ones. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.